In various parts of the world, there are communities that choose to live separately from modern civilization, preserving the culture and way of life passed down through generations. They live independently, relying on local wisdom and natural resources around them. For example, the Korowai tribe, who build their homes as high as 50 meters to avoid attacks from wild animals or evil spirits. Or the community on Palmerston Island, which relies on rainwater for drinking. What other fascinating communities are out there? Let's explore together. First, we have the Mashco Piro tribe, one of the indigenous groups that live in isolation in the Madre de Dios region near the border with Brazil. The dense and remote rainforest makes access to their area extremely difficult, forcing them to rely on the Amazon forest to meet their daily needs. Despite choosing to live in isolation, the Mashco Piro tribe faces various challenges due to modernization. Logging activities by companies such as Madureira, Canales, Tahuamanu, Saki have threatened their habitat. In India, there is the Sentinelese tribe, which inhabits North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal, part of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, India. They are known for their complete isolation from the outside world and their strong defense of their territory. Interestingly, this isolation has helped the Sentinelese maintain their traditional way of life without any external influence. It is believed that they live as hunter-gatherers, relying on the island's natural resources to sustain themselves. They are also known for their defensive stance toward outsiders, often displaying aggression toward anyone attempting to approach their island. From India, we move to Indonesia. The Korowai tribe, also known as the Kolufo, is an ethnic group that inhabits the southeastern region of Papua, Indonesia, particularly in the provinces of South Papua and Highland Papua. Their remote geographical location and difficult access have allowed them to preserve their traditional way of life for centuries. The Korowai people are hunter-gatherers who practice shifting agriculture. They possess excellent hunting and fishing skills and rely on sago as their staple food. One of their most distinctive features is their tree houses, which are built at great heights, with some reaching up to 50 meters above the ground. These elevated homes are constructed to avoid threats from wild animals and evil spirits. Next, we have Tristan da Cunha, a remote volcanic archipelago in the South Atlantic Ocean, located about 20,400 kilometers from South Africa. The island doesn't even have an airport, and transportation to and from the island depends entirely on ships from South Africa, which make the journey only about 8 to 9 times a year, taking approximately 6 days to arrive. Due to these limitations, the island remains extremely isolated, requiring residents to carefully plan their supplies and daily needs. The community of Tristan da Cunha has a unique social and economic structure, with communal land ownership and strict regulations preventing outsiders from purchasing land or settling on the island. Transportation and communication remain significant challenges, and limited access means that even ordering essentials, like Christmas gifts, requires advanced planning. Ittoqqortoormiit is a remote settlement on the eastern coast of Greenland, where access is highly restricted. The primary mode of transportation is by helicopter, which connects the settlement to Nurlarit Airport. Additionally, sea ice conditions often limit maritime access, further isolating the region. The local population relies heavily on hunting as their primary livelihood. Hunting whales, polar bears, seals, and Arctic foxes has been an integral part of their culture and economy for generations. Due to limited access, the cost of shipping goods and services is high, making daily life more challenging. Climate change has also begun to impact sea ice patterns, affecting both traditional hunting practices and accessibility to the region. Coober Pedy is a unique town in South Australia, famously known as the opal capital of the world. Located on the edge of the Stuart Range erosion scarp, Coober Pedy has an arid desert climate with extreme summer temperatures, often exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. In addition to opal mining, tourism plays a significant role in the local economy, attracting visitors eager to explore underground homes and other distinctive sites. To escape the scorching heat, many residents have built underground homes known as dugouts. Beyond the heat, the town faces several challenges, including aging water infrastructure and high water costs. Who would have thought that there is a remote community in the US? Yes, Supai Village, a secluded settlement located within the Grand Canyon in Arizona, United States. Inhabited by the Havasupai tribe, this village is known as one of the most isolated communities in the country, accessible only by helicopter or an 8-mile trek on foot. There are no roads connecting it to the outside world, making access extremely limited. Unfortunately, Supai faces significant challenges in terms of accessibility and infrastructure. Natural disasters, such as flash floods, can cut off access and damage essential facilities. Additionally, climate change has led to an increase in extreme weather events, including flooding and heat waves. Yakan is a small village located in the Yakan Highlands along the Ittoqqortoormiit River in Russia. The local population relies on fur trading and ice fishing as their primary sources of livelihood. Most residents follow Russian Orthodox Christianity or have no religious affiliation, though beliefs in Ai and shamanism also exist in the region. The extreme climate conditions bring numerous challenges to the people of Yakan, particularly in terms of accessibility, infrastructure, and healthcare. Despite these difficulties, the community has successfully adapted to their environment, developing ways of life that allow them to survive in such harsh conditions. Pitcairn Island is the only inhabited island in the Pitcairn Islands, a British overseas territory in the South Pacific Ocean. The island covers an area of approximately 4.5 square kilometers, with a length of about 3.5 kilometers. Its coastline is made up of steep cliffs with no protective coral reefs, limiting access to a small dock at Bounty Bay. The main challenges faced by this community include a declining population due to migration, limited access to healthcare and education, and a heavy reliance on external aid for basic necessities. La Rinconada is a gold mining town located in the Andes Mountains of Peru, known as the highest permanent settlement in the world, sitting at approximately 5,100 meters above sea level. The economy of La Rinconada is dominated by gold mining, with many miners working under the Cachorio system, where they labor for 30 days without pay, and on the 31st day are allowed to take as much gold ore as they can carry. Despite the harsh living conditions, the community in La Rinconada has developed a unique culture influenced by Andean traditions and mining practices. However, the town is also known for its severe pollution due to mining activities and the lack of basic infrastructure, such as clean water and waste disposal systems. Villa Las Estrellas is one of only 2 civilian settlements in Antarctica, located on King George Island within Chile's Antarctic Territory claim. Established in 1984, the community serves as support for the Eduardo Frei Montalva Air Base. The population consists of military personnel, scientists, and their families. Facilities in Villa Las Estrellas include a small hospital staffed by one doctor and a nurse, a post office, a bank, and a Catholic chapel named Santa Maria Reina de la Paz. For communication, the settlement has access to satellite phones, internet, and local radio broadcasts. Daily activities revolve around scientific research, logistical support, and facility maintenance. Due to the limited medical services available, all residents are required to undergo an appendectomy before moving there as a precaution against medical emergencies. Next, there is Longyearbyen, the largest settlement in the Svalbard archipelago, Norway, and one of the northernmost towns in the world. During winter, Longyearbyen experiences the polar night, where the sun does not rise for several months, while in summer, the sun remains visible 24 hours a day. Longyearbyen has some unique traditions, such as requiring residents to carry firearms when traveling outside the town limits for protection against polar bears. Despite its extreme environment, the town has modern infrastructure, including stores, restaurants, schools, and a health center. However, due to the harsh conditions, local transportation relies on snowmobiles and boats, as roads are limited and do not connect to other settlements in Svalbard. And we have the community living on Palmerston Island, located in the Cook Islands in the South Pacific Ocean. The people here rely on fish and coconuts as their primary food sources. Access to the island is extremely limited due to the absence of an airport, and with supply ships visiting only occasionally, it remains one of the most isolated communities in the world. Because of this, the residents depend on trade among themselves to meet their daily needs. Rainwater is collected for drinking, and electricity is available for only 6 hours a day. Interestingly, the island has no shops, banks, or markets, and cash is used only for transactions with the outside world. The limited transportation and communication access restrict interactions with the rest of the world, making it difficult to obtain modern supplies and services. Also known as Midog, Motuo is located in southeastern Tibet and is often referred to as the Hidden Lotus. It is one of the most remote regions in China. Due to its geographical isolation, many locals have traditionally worked as mountain guides, porters, or Sherpas. Although accessibility has improved with the construction of roads, Motuo still faces challenges related to modernization. The region lies in an active seismic zone, making it vulnerable to earthquakes. For example, in January 2025, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Tibet, highlighting the seismic risks to infrastructure projects such as dams and hydroelectric power plants. Known as the Duka, this small community of semi-nomadic reindeer herders lives in the Hufsgul province of northern Mongolia. They are the only reindeer herding culture in Mongolia and are considered one of the first communities to domesticate these animals. The Tsaatan people rely heavily on their reindeer for daily survival, using them for transportation, milk, and materials for clothing and shelter. In recent decades, the Tsaatan tribe has faced various challenges due to modernization and economic changes. The shift from socialism to privatization in the 1990s affected their traditional way of life, leading some members of the community to seek jobs in urban areas.